The Sweet Discoveries event is coming up next this week in Pokemon Go. We have 3 new Pokemon Go debuts. We have 3 shiny boosts to talk about. We're going to discuss the details, the bonuses. We've even got a new item in the game that's going to be really relevant to this event. Let's get into this together. Shh. Kicking off with dates and times. It looks like this is going to be kicking off on Thursday, the 24th of April at 10 a.m., running all the way until Tuesday, the 29th of April at 8 p.m. local time. Let's cover our new Pokemon Go debut first. Applin. Applin is a grass and dragon type Pokemon originally coming from the Galar region. Applin can actually evolve into 2 different type of Pokemon. The first one is going to be Appletun. Appletun is also a dragon and grass type Pokemon, but you're going to need 200 Applin candy as well as 20 tart apples. But if you want to evolve Applin into Flapple, the other Pokemon, you're going to need another 200 Applin candies as well as 20 sweet apples. But how good are these evolutions in Pokemon Go? Let's start with Appletun. Like we said, it's a grass and dragon type Pokemon. It has a max CP of 2772, an attack of 178, a defense of 146, and a stamina of 242, which is pretty high, so you can see this Pokemon might be a bit of a bulky Pokemon. The fast attacks that it has access to is going to be Astonish and Bullet Seed, and the charge moves that it has access to right now are going to be Seed Bomb, Dragon Pulse, Energy Ball, and Outrage. But let's look at Flapple now. Again, it takes on the grass and dragon typing, and it has a max CP of 2788, an attack value which is going to be a significantly higher than Appletun of 214, a defense of 144, and a stamina of 172. Its fast attacks that it can use are going to be Dragon Breath and Bullet Seed, and the charge moves it can use are going to be Seed Bomb, Dragon Pulse, Outrage, and Fly. It's nice that it has access to Fly, and right now, if you look at the best DPS combination on this Pokemon, Dragon Breath and Fly are actually going to be the best moveset to use. Guys, during the Sweet Discoveries event in the wild, there are going to be apples on the floor, very similar to how it was for that April Fool's Day when we had the Pokeballs on the floor. This event, there are going to be apples on the floor, which can either reward you with an Applin encounter, which of course we would suggest using a pineapple berry to try and accumulate as much candies as possible, or you may click on the apple and it may be one of the sweet or tart apple. To boost the chances of finding these sweet or tart apples, what you're going to have to do, and I really would recommend using a grassy lure module. According to the Pokemon Go website, this is going to be an increased way to try and get those apples because they're going to be spawning more often around those Pokestops. Let's look at those main event bonuses now. It's going to be 2 times candy for catching Pokemon, so a great opportunity to get even more Applin candy. We are going to get the increased chance to find shiny Squavette as well as shiny Delibird in the wild, which is amazing. And speaking of increased shiny chances, also from hatching eggs, we'll talk about the eggs in a minute, we can get the increased chance to hatch shiny Delibird, shiny Cherubi, and shiny Squavette again, which is awesome. Another thing that they've attached to the Delibird and Squavette is that when we catch these Pokemon in the wild, they're actually going to have a chance to hold berries, which is going to be raspberry or even a pineapple berry or even a nana berry. As we said before, if trainers use mossy lure modules, they're going to get an increased chance to find apples around that Pokestop. And the last bonus, again, something different, is that it's going to be half egg hatch distance for the first 3 eggs you hatch during this event, but using the Pokemon Go widget. Let's talk about those wild spawns now. Spawning in the wild, we have Alolan Rattata, Abra, Bellsprout, Delibird, Gulpin, Bidoof, Munna, Bounsweet, Squavette, and if you're lucky, we can find Snorlax in the wild, which is awesome, Shuckle, we haven't seen that in a while, Kamala, and Applin, of course, coming through those apples. Hatching in 7-kilometer eggs, we have a very small egg pool, and consider the shiny chance here again because it's going to be increased shiny chance for Delibird, Cherubi, Squavette, but not so for Munchlax. Again, trainers can upgrade their experience for a total cost of $2 with a paid timed research ticket, and the extra rewards there are going to be an additional 2 mossy lure modules as well as encounters with Delibird, Squavette, Applin, and more. New avatar items are coming into the game, and I love this Applin headband as well as the Applin apron. Pokestop showcases are again returning. Remember to enter those for some premium rewards such as some lure modules, maybe even that mossy lure module is going to show up here, lucky eggs, XP, but more importantly, you can work towards that platinum showcase medal, which means you need to win 100 showcases. Okay, top tips time. How do I take advantage of this event? I have the first way to do this, and for me, it is going to be to Mega Evolve a Grass or Dragon type Pokemon because, like we said for Applin, you're going to need 200 candies, and because it's going to be 2 times catch candy as well, every Applin you catch with a pineapple, you should be rewarded 12 Applin candy per catch. So if you see a lot of these apples in the wild, you need to click on them, and if they are Applin, you need to catch as many of them as possible so you can try and get 400 candies to get Appletun as well as Flapple. Bear in mind that the Mega Pokemon you use should definitely be a Dragon or Grass type Pokemon Pokemon, maybe something like a Mega Sceptile. That's probably perfect because Sceptile uses the grass and dragon typing on its own, but you could even use something like a Mega Abomasnow, Mega Rayquaza, Mega Salamence. Anything that can hit that Applin so you can get that candy is going to be your best way to get candy returns. Definitely have those at Mega level 3 too. Tip number 2 kind of has something to do with this event, but it's actually to do with the Vanillite Community Day. Guys, in that 3-hour time frame, remember that lure modules during community days are going to activate for 3 hours, which means if you have a Mossy lure module or a couple spare that you need to use, I would drop them all next to one another. Try and do that in a specific route, because if you come back and circle back to those Mossy lure modules, you have an excellent chance for 3 hours of seeing apples all over your map, even though it's in the middle of that community day. Phew. Right, onto our top targets. The first one we would look at is going to be Alolan Rattata, of course going into Alolan Raticate. Right now in the Great League, it has a current ranking of 259, which may not seem very impressive, but let me tell you, in certain cups, this Pokemon, because of that dark and normal typing, could really come into use, and it's a really accessible Pokemon because it's so easy to get candy for Rattata, so try and get that during this event. The next Pokemon we would look at is going to be Bellsprout, of course eventually going into that Victory Bell. Victory Bell, I think right now performs best in the Great League at 222. It does need that Magical Leaf, which is an Elite Charge TM, but again, with that XL Candy, this Pokemon can definitely put in work. And if you guys didn't know, try and get a Hundo Bellsprout, because Mega Victory Bell is confirmed that it will be coming to Pokemon Go at a much later point. But if you do have that Hundo, try and save it, because you could get that Mega Victory Bell as that Hundo. Next up, we would look at Abra, of course going into Alakazam and eventually into Mega Alakazam. Guys, right now Mega Alakazam has one of the highest attack stats in the entirety of the game, and because it has access to Shadow Ball, when something like Mewtwo or Shadow Mewtwo come around, this could be extremely effective because it could resist a lot of the Mewtwo attacks, but it can hit tremendously hard with that Shadow Ball. So try and get that Hundo for Abra too. The last Pokemon we're going to highlight is going to be Snorlax. Guys, Snorlax is a very, very rare spawn. If you're a newer player specifically, you very, very rarely see Snorlax in the wild, and if you manage to get that shiny, that would be even more incredible. So guys, I would get that, because in the Great League right now, its Shadow form is ranked 323 and its regular form is ranked 390. Again, this doesn't look impressive off the bat, but again, it just needs a little meta shift or the season to change, and this Pokemon could go right up to the top again based on the types and what moves are going to be doing more damage. Things shift up and down all the time, so trust me, get a good Snorlax. It could really pay dividends for you in the future, and more importantly, try and get that Hundo if you can. I'm still chasing it, and Snorlax is one of my favorite Pokemon. The Shadow form right now in the Master League is currently ranked 115 with that XL Candy, and the regular is ranked 141. So again, this Pokemon is going to perform best in the Master League. As we said, we've got the Vanillite Community Day coming up, and of course we have the DMAX Anti-Raid Weekend, which of course we're going to cover with a strategy and a counter guide. Appreciate your support. Smash that like and subscribe button. Our channel is growing very, very quickly. Love you guys. Go with us, and we'll catch you in the next one, baby.